Hello and welcome back or welcome to my channel. So I wanted to talk about healthy relationships. I feel like I talk to people so often and they don't really understand what a healthy relationship is, or they're in one, or they're in not a healthy relationship and they don't even know it. So I'm gonna dive right in. So to start off, I'm gonna explain how a man and a woman need to feel in a relationship for them to feel good. Men need to feel respected, needed, and appreciated. Women need to feel loved and safe. And when I say love, they also need to feel like they are adored, like you are attracted to them. So those are the difference between men and women. And a lot of times the roles can be reversed sometimes in accident, and then the polarity is thrown off and the relationship is not what it could be and what it should be, because maybe the woman is treating her man as if she's the man and he's the woman, or vice versa, and that makes for not the best relationship, not the happiest the relationship can be. Back to what I was saying about how the man and the woman feel the best in the relationship. Women feel their best when they are safe, when they feel safe physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. All of those ways that a woman feels safe, they thrive. And as a man, you will love being around them. You will feel very good in their presence because they'll just be exuding this beautiful feminine energy and they'll be feeling wonderful. For men, they are biologically designed to hunt and protect. And so they need to feel that they are providing for the woman and then feeling appreciated by the woman, and then they will thrive. When they want to feel good in a woman's presence, and so it's hard because if the woman's not feeling good, if she's not really in her feminine energy, then the man isn't feeling good, or vice versa. Or like they always say, happy wife, happy life, because I really do feel like it starts with the woman. If the woman's not feeling good, the man's not feeling good. That's just kind of how it works. Let me preface this by saying not all men, not all women are capable of being in a healthy relationship. Not all of them are capable of like worshiping the ground you walk on. Some people are just not like that, or they haven't healed from things that they need to heal from. So not everyone is capable of that, and that doesn't mean that you should be in a relationship and put up with that. You do not have to be someone that has not healed, and you don't need to be the person that fixes them. I also want to say that my marriage is not always perfect. No one's is, because we're all human. We all make mistakes. We all do things that aren't healthy sometimes. Sometimes we know what the healthy thing to do is, but our temper gets the best of us and we don't do the healthiest thing. That's just human. I usually tell people that I feel like a relationship should be good about 95% of the time, and then the other 5 to 10% it's normal to have arguments or to have issues. That's just human. Men and women are different, and so sometimes it's hard for the opposite person to understand how the other person really feels. And I feel like a lot of time women especially will treat their man how they want to be treated, and that just throws off the whole polarity of the relationship. And then instead of being like magnetized to each other, the woman's chasing the man and he's actually being chased away. He's actually leaning back because the woman is doing too much. So for example, most women love getting gifts. That's the love language for most women. So I know a lot of girls, a lot of women who will give their partner gifts and kind of spoil them, because in reality that's what they want done for them. And men just don't typically feel the same way that women do when they're receiving a gift. Women feel amazing, we feel so loved, we feel appreciated, like we just feel so good getting a gift. Men, not so much. Men actually thrive giving a gift. When a man does an act of service or gives a gift to a woman and they get to bask in her happy energy, they feel so good. Men like to provide and they like to make women feel good. So, and in turn it makes them feel good. So it's not really a selfish or weird thing, because both people feel good in the relationship. Like say your man opens the door for you as you're walking into a restaurant. If you just stop for a second and be like, babe, you always make me feel like such a princess. Thank you. Something like that, he's gonna feel so good. So that's what I mean. You both feel good. But say you were to open the door for him, in his mind, or maybe it's not really consciously, but deep down biologically, or in his unconscious, or in his subconscious, he knows that does not feel good. Something's not right there. You're serving him, it doesn't feel right there. So that isn't going to feel good for him. And a lot of times then he can be put into his like feminine side, his feminine energy, where he's receiving instead of giving. And then next thing you know, the woman is chasing, giving gifts, texting all the time, calling all the time, planning all the dates, doing everything. And the man is just leaning further and further back and doing less and less because he's now in his feminine energy. So when I say feminine and masculine energy, I feel like I use those terms a lot. I'm talking about the way that a man and a woman were designed to feel their best. Like I said, men are the providers and women are kind of like the nurturers that feel good receiving. So men feel better giving, women feel better receiving. So for example, like I said, if the woman is doing everything for the man, he is going to do less and less and lean back. But if you're leaning back as the woman and you're allowing your man to lean forward and chase you, then he's gonna feel good doing that. Men are just biologically wired to hunt and to like the chase. So when he's putting in more effort than you, and I know it can sound like it's like playing games or toxic, but it's not meant to be like that, and it benefits both partners because the man feels good doing it and the woman feels good receiving this treatment. So when the man is chasing you, he's planning the dates, he's trying to get you, and maybe you're a little bit hard to get, that feels good for him. I mean, it's been shown, and I'm sure you know this in so many studies, that when a woman is easy to get for a man, it really turns him off. He likes the chase. So when you're easy, then fun's over, and a lot of times the man loses feelings quickly, especially if you sleep with a man quickly because you made it too easy for him. There was no chase. So what I was saying is sometimes if you find yourself in the position where you're kind of switched and you're kind of being like the man, he's kind of being the woman, then you kind of need to lean back into yourself and start pouring into yourself and things that power your feminine energy, like whatever makes you feel good. If it's painting, if it's hanging out with friends, if it's taking a yoga class, whatever feels good for you and fills you up. And maybe don't always be super available for your man, constantly texting them and checking on them and being available all the time, because then it doesn't feel as good for him. And like I said, it's not playing games. This is just kind of keeping that polarity in the relationship. Like I said, with polarity, where you have the magnet charged to each other. So you want to keep that charge in the relationship. And I think most people would admit in a relationship, the man kind of has to, I don't want to say love the woman more, but almost be more interested, or else usually it doesn't work out. And the man, like I said, the man has to be chasing. So when the man's like, oh, like I haven't heard from her in a while, like then he's calling you instead of you always calling him first. Or maybe he's like, oh, like we haven't really done anything for a while, like I should plan a date. So it's things like that if you're always pursuing him and chasing him, it's going to be a turn off to him. He's going to lean back and he's going to do less and less. So if you step back and pour into yourself, then naturally he'll want to be chasing you and he'll be back in his feminine or in his masculine energy trying to chase you. What else did I want to say here? Another thing I wanted to say is, like I said, men feel good making you feel good. So when they try to give something to you, receive it. When they offer to carry your bags, don't say, no, I've got it. No, it feels good for them to do it, so let them do it, and then also praise them for it. That's just how men are wired. They feel good serving you, and they feel good making you feel good. So when you say they buy something for you, and you're like, oh, like, and you're so happy, they get to bask in your happiness, instead of you turning around and buying something for them because you feel uncomfortable that they served you. Another thing is a compliment. When they compliment you, let it soak in and appreciate it. So if he says, babe, you look so pretty today, be like, thank you. That is so sweet of you. You make me feel so good. Something like that. Okay, another thing I want to say is a lot of times women don't know how to get through to their man because they're not talking in men's language. When men are at work or they're around other guys, all they're hearing is that logic. They're just hearing like how men talk to each other. But with a woman, the best way to get through to him is to talk to him about how you feel, how your body feels. Like I said, when he compliments you, say, that makes me feel so good. Or tell him something he does makes you feel so good. So they're gonna love they're gonna love knowing what's going on in your body and feeling your feminine energy when you do that. So if you want to get through to a man, speak through your body, tell him what feels good and what doesn't feel good, rather than using your logical brain to get through to him. Try to feel your body, drop into your body, and speak from your body. Tell him how it feels for you. Something else I wanted to say. So as far as a healthy relationship goes, you cannot disrespect each other. When your relationship doesn't have respect, it doesn't have much. Especially as a man, if he doesn't feel respected and appreciated, like I said, that will tear him apart. He will not feel good. He needs to feel respected. Both partners need to feel respected. So when you're arguing, try really hard to be careful what you say and do not disrespect them, because some things can't be taken back, and when you disrespect someone in a relationship, that can really change things. That can really change the dynamic of the relationship. Speaking from my own experience, I've noticed a lot of people don't communicate very well with their partner, and it always blows my mind, because I feel like my husband and I tell each other everything. Like, we know most of the time everything the other person's thinking and feeling and what's going on. And so I really am passionate about communication. So it feels weird to me when other people are hiding stuff from their partner. I do not recommend hiding anything from your partner or not telling them stuff. Like, tell each other how you feel. Even if, say, you're not feeling attracted to them, I know it can hurt, but sometimes it's good to be open about that, and then maybe you can kind of give them the motivation to fight for you, using their masculine energy to fight for you. But love is not always a feeling. It's a decision. When you're in a relationship, you're not, especially in marriage, you're not always going to feel like you love them. It's a decision to be with them. And you have to decide every day. And every day, you have to put in the effort to love them and to think outside of yourself, but to think about the other person. And ultimately to serve them. Because in a relationship, a lot of times you are thinking about the other person, you are catering towards them and serving them. I also want to say, if you're not married, it's a very dangerous game to play, to be giving him too much of that wife treatment, that feminine energy, because if he's feeling so good and you're giving him everything you have, then he's not really going to be motivated to be committed to you, because he's already receiving everything that you have to give him. So I would really hold on to a lot of that for your actual husband. Otherwise, he's not going to want to put a ring on it. And when you're in a relationship, you can't lose yourself. You still have to do the things that make you feel good. And like I said, to be in your feminine energy, you have to be pouring in yourself and doing the things that fill you up and make you feel good. And your partner, your man, will feel that. So make sure, but he'll also feel if you're not pouring anything into yourself. In a marriage, I feel like it's not right to completely let yourself go and get so comfortable, because like I said, it is like an everyday fight to like fight, or an everyday, I don't want to say fight, but I feel like you should fight for your partner. You should pursue your partner every single day. So I do feel like you should be putting in the effort to kind of win them over every day. Not saying that you need to, because like you're married and you're committed and they should love you for how you are, but I do think that you should try to be, taking care of yourself and kind of winning them over every day, treating them good, maybe doing nice things for them, like cooking for them. But as a woman, you have to remember that you kind of have all of the power. Women make a house a home, a little seed a baby, they just make everything better. So remember that, and to make sure you're with someone that is giving you the treatment you deserve, and like I say, kind of worshiping the ground you walk on, because you deserve it. And they actually did a survey where they asked men, well, let me start with women. They asked women what they would do if men were wiped out from this earth, and they said, I would frolic through the forest naked, I would feel so safe, I would go on runs at night, I would feel so good, I would just be so free, and like I said, go naked and run around and have fun. And they asked men what they would do if women were wiped from the earth, and they pretty much all said that they would themselves. So that kind of just gives you a glimpse on how powerful women are. Men feel so good being in women's presence, and it is a gift to them to just be in your presence. So remember that, because they are feeling so good basking in your feminine energy, so that is a gift for them to be able to be in it. And that's why I say, don't give that precious energy to someone who's not your husband, and be careful how much you're giving, or be careful how much you're giving your partner that you're not married to. So as humans, we are designed to kind of fulfill the narrative that other people and that ourselves think. So what kind of like, as a woman thinketh, as a man thinketh, if you know those books, you are as you think, and you also you conform to how other people feel about you. So for example, if you are telling your partner every single day that they are so lazy and they never do anything for you, they're gonna prove you right. No matter what you tell someone, they're gonna prove you right. They're gonna be extra lazy and they're not gonna do anything for you. That's just how people are wired. So what you can kind of do there, you kind of use a psychology trick, and this may not always be easy if they are being lazy, not doing anything for you, but any small thing they do, you kind of have to praise, and that'll kind of get them out of that and get them back to, or if they were never there, get them to a place where they're the opposite. So if they do something like, well, let me think, even something small. Say they clean up something in your living room. You could be like, oh, babe, you work so hard for us. Thank you so much for cleaning that up. You do so much for this family. So even though it might be really hard to say if they're being super lazy, praise those little things, and then eventually it'll multiply and they'll be what you say they are. And like I said at the beginning of this video, not all people are capable of being in a healthy relationship. Not all people are capable of being great, wonderful, healthy, masculine men or wonderful women. But 9 times out of 10, people are what you say they are. So if you don't want someone to be something, don't say it. I know that's hard in a fight because you want to be like, oh, you always do this or you never do this. Then they're going to continue to prove you right. So as hard as it is, when they do something very slight that you like, praise it, and then they'll keep doing it. Almost like Pavlov's classical conditioning, because you're praising them, so they're going to continue to do it. Going back to what I said about how a woman needs to feel safe, when a woman feels safe physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially, she is the best version of herself. The little girl inside of her can come out and she can thrive and be the best version of herself. And then in turn, the man gets to bask in that beautiful energy and he feels good too. So pay attention to how you feel with your partner, and know that if you are more in your masculine energy and he's in his feminine, you kind of switch, that polarity is thrown off, that you can go back into your roles. Like I said, as a woman, leaning back and allowing him to do more and him to pursue you more, or pouring into yourself, like I said, like yoga classes, painting, whatever feels good for you. And also, men are very territorial and competitive. So if you were to do something that you're around a lot of other healthy masculine men, like, I don't know, the gym, they're gonna feel that you're around those men, and they're gonna be pursuing you more. They're gonna wanna win you over because, like I said, they're territorial and protective, and they can feel that. And if you're not currently in a healthy relationship and you don't think that that person is gonna change, they're not capable of it, my heart goes out to you. But know that there are over 8 billion people on this earth. You're perfect, well, nobody's perfect, but your compatible partner is already walking on this earth. They are there, they're out there waiting for you. I know it can be hard to date sometimes, and in today's world it can seem like there's a lot of losers out there, but don't settle for a loser, because your king is out there. He's already walking this earth. Like I said, there's over 8 billion people on this earth. So that's like maybe say 4 billion men or 4 billion women. Your partner is out there. Life is way too short to stay in a toxic relationship. Like I said, probably 90 to 95% of the time, the relationship should be good and healthy, with arguments and fighting happening the other 5-10%. That's normal. Well, I hope you guys liked this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you.